Jukeboxes recently got updated, and by recently I mean 3 months ago. Yeah, I'm perfectly on time as always. Now this added functionality is really interesting to me because we can now put music discs into jukeboxes using redstone components like droppers and hoppers, and also a jukebox will output a redstone signal when a disc is playing. I mean, that is like super curious. Look, it powers things like pistons. So that's definitely going to have actual redstone functionality, but for me right now, I want to make a music disc shuffling device. You turn the machine on, it starts playing music, it will randomly select discs from your selection, playing them constantly until you turn it off. So let's begin. So first things first, we've got our inputs, which is just going to be a button, and that's all hooked up to a T flip-flop. So when we hit this button, that turns shuffle on, and when we hit the button again, that turns shuffle off. Levers are for losers. Now I just need to work out our shuffling system. So yeah, I'm gonna put the music discs into the jukebox, making use of a hopper. That's fine. There's 16 different music discs, which is okay. So we need 2 different droppers, and I want it to be a truly random shuffle. I also want to make it so that it has to go through all of the songs before it starts playing songs again. As much as I love the music disc cat, I don't want to accidentally listen to it 4 times in a row. So I'm thinking, can we feed these into the side? We can. Okay, that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So then if I was to build up a system like this, and then we could shuffle them using droppers down at the bottom. Bear with me a second here, my brain is working very hard because I also want it to be quite compact as well. Okay, let's actually break it down. So there's going to be a part of the circuit that detects when there are no songs left, so then it has to reset, and that is achieved by this OR gate. It will also not reset until the song has finished playing. We need a circuit out the back to power the hoppers to stop new songs going to the jukebox to switch the system off, and we need a system to send the items back up to the top so that the whole process can start again. This thing's looking a bit big, isn't it? I'm going to try a new idea. It'll still have all the same elements, but it's just rearranged. Okay, this is kind of weird. Definitely kind of a bit weird. The hopper minecart didn't actually work, but this idea definitely should. What the system is doing is it's evenly and randomly distributing our items between the 2 sides of droppers. So that redstone clock right there is just powering and unpowering a hopper, which means there's a 50% chance it's either going to go into this bottom dropper down here or into this dropper over here. Now, why do I want to do that? Well, it's because our music discs don't fit into a single dropper. If they all fit into one dropper, then that would be very easy to shuffle because droppers automatically randomize the items that they're sending out. And because we're using 2, I want to make sure that there's no real order to the way that the droppers fill up, because otherwise a song that came on early in the previous shuffle is highly likely to come on early in the next shuffle. Now, I'm sure some of you might be thinking, well, what if we just power both of these droppers at the same time, and then surely it'll be random which one actually gets to put the disc into the jukebox. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Due to update orders, this dropper right here always wins that battle and always puts the disc into the jukebox before this one does. I now have more respect for my 2004 iPod for doing all of this stuff behind the scenes. How did it manage to fit all the droppers and hoppers in there? So just like in the prototype that we built over there, we also need the circuit, which tells us when the discs have run out and when it needs to reset. And we also need the circuit that is going to be sending all of the items back up to the top, which could look something like this. And the entire machine could look something like this. Now, this is working. In theory, it should all be functional, but I'm still looking at it and thinking this is very overcomplicated for what it's actually doing. Also, in this current system, when the system resets and it does a fresh shuffle, there's a chance that the last song that played on the last shuffle could be the first song that plays in the new shuffle, which means you'd hear the same song twice in quick succession. And I don't want that. So we're going to move over to a rolling shuffling system. So it's still going to randomize your songs, but it's also going to make sure that the last 5 or maybe 10 songs that have been played won't get played again. And it should be simpler too. And then eventually I'll hook it all up to our original circuit and make a proper build. A lot of head scratching later, I've managed to work this thing out. My smart shuffler is now fully constructed and it's pretty small. It's 2 blocks wide, it's 5 blocks tall, and it's 4 blocks long. I definitely think someone smarter than me could make it slightly shorter, but my main priority was the smart shuffle system, making sure that you can't get repeat songs too often. So this system guarantees that you're going to have a minimum of 7 songs before you could possibly get a repeat. And 7 is the worst case scenario. Now, normally you would just leave this thing running, but I'm going to do a bit of a test. So let's flick the system on. Everything is playing. This is song number 1. Song number 2 is rather scary. Hopefully song number 3 is a little bit better. Let's hear what number 4 is. Then we have number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, and that is it. So we have shuffled 9 songs. 9 different songs have played. But remember, the whole point of this system is that you don't have to right-click on the jukebox. Those songs would play automatically. You could just have this somewhere in your base and constantly have background music, which sounds like a lovely idea until all the scary ones come on. Anyway, let's get this full build constructed. Wow, I've got my own desert island for a redstone contraption. I don't think I've ever had that before. Obviously, this is a really nice, compact little redstone circuit, but I want to add a few extra functions to it that will make it significantly cooler. Now, the first thing is a button, because as we mentioned earlier on, levers are for losers, and I'm sure you can now see why I say that. This just looks way better and cleaner. Then from there, I'm going to take a comparator output from the side of our jukebox, and that will give us a redstone signal strength, which changes depending on what music disc is on the inside of the jukebox, which means if we hook it up to a red coder, we can then display what song is currently playing, which is amazing for someone like me who has absolutely no idea what any of the Minecraft songs are. Seriously, I know Chirp and Cat, and that's about it. The fact that I used the button is now getting in the way of my red coder, and now I might need to choose between the red coder and the button. Alright, even I'm regretting choosing the button right now. This is enormous. What an absolute mess. But it works, and it looks lovely. Now I just need to connect this into this, and then this there, and yeah, that is showing a music disc. So then hopefully once I run this redstone line across, all of the redstone lamps should turn off apart from one. Okay, that's not working, is it? And it's because I've been a little bit stupid, but now I fixed it, and that is correct. So let's get to all of the indicators in place. Now, rather frustratingly, Minecraft 1.20 is actually the first Minecraft update that has a shared redstone signal for a music disc. There are now more music discs than there are redstone signal strengths. So this redstone lamp could either be other side or it could be relic, which is being introduced in Minecraft 1.20. So with all the details in place, let's get building. And with all the building in place, let's get to listening. So if I hit this button here, we should see that the track will change, which it has, and we will immediately start listening to music. Of course, the first song that comes on is the incredibly scary new song. This one's deceptive because it has a really nice bit in the middle, this bit here, and then it goes back to being absolutely terrifying. I have nightmares about this. But then eventually the terrors will stop and the song should automatically change, hopefully to something happier. And that sounds like the end, and it's working. Yes, so now we have other side playing. A little redstone lamp did the thing. This thing's super cool. And this is more like it. This is the sort of thing that I want coming out of my jukebox. Not that I don't like the other one, but man, it's not something that I would listen to at home. Let's get one more for luck. The song is ending, so we'll get another song change here. There we go. Blocks, redstone lamp, everything's functioning. I'm incredibly happy. Now remember, the actual brains of this system is this tiny little circuit right here. All of the big bulkiness comes with the redstone lamp indicators, which I have to say are incredibly cool. If I was building this in my base, I would definitely have them. But the actual redstone contraption itself is really quite simple. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!